9 minutes gone past the 3 o'clock hour, officially welcoming you to Hard Facts. This is the nation's number one talk news and sports radio station. We're broadcasting live from our audiovisual studios right here in Italy and Crescent, Victoria Island, Lagos. I'm Maryann Okon. For the next about 51 minutes, we're going to be looking at the big three stories for us today as usual. It is an abridged version of Hard Facts, and right after that, we will be reviewing yesterday's incredible debates. Incredible, I must tell you. I have never been so blown away by these youngsters. It is superb. Welcome to the show. We're live on facebook.com/Nigeria Info FM. We're live on YouTube, Nigeria Info FM. You can join the conversation on WhatsApp 0809 5975805. Better so you could join the conversation on X. Use the hashtag Hard Facts. Welcome to the show. As usual, we'll look at the big three stories for today, and this is how we begin.
Get ready for the most important news of the day. It's time for the big three stories on Hard Facts. Tune in to our primetime show for the latest updates and in-depth analysis on the top stories making headlines. From breaking news to in-depth investigations, we bring you the facts you need to know. Join us as we delve into the biggest stories shaping our world today. Tune in to the Big Three every weekday, 3 to 4 p.m. and stay informed with the news that matters the most. Hard Facts, where the truth always comes first.
Bridging the gap between people and those in authority. With Hard Facts, you are sure to get only the facts.
Tune in to Hard Facts with Maryann Okon on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
All right, we're back. Let's look at the top stories for today. Very interesting stories. And I did make mention of the fact that, did I? No, I didn't. Yesterday, for those of you who follow what happens on social media, you would notice that there was this very serious fracas at the Mandilas part of the Lagos market. For those of you who do not know, I'm going to play a clip because some of the clips that came from that infraction didn't necessarily, some were really bloody. The dragging of a dead person across the street, and then of course how they were beating the alleged stabber. Yes, the guy who stabbed the other. By the way, the background is that they were trying to share money, and sharing money went wrong. And obviously, someone got stabbed, and then it turned into a them versus us, fracas that, went left. Welcome to the show, guys. Let's start with the issue of insecurity, shall we? Because that is actually a very big issue. I think it was Monday, if I'm not mistaken, where Peter Obi had quoted statistics that were brought about by Amnesty International, which the federal government was refuting. Well, here we are. The Premium Times newspaper is reporting about kidnappings and abduction. Let me go straight into that story, if you let me. The headline for that story here on the Premium Times newspaper says Nigerians paid 2.57 billion naira in ransoms in 1 year as kidnappers abduct 4,722. Says a report. The report records 4,722 victims across 997 incidents, with at least 762 deaths linked to abduction and abduction-related violence. Let me give you some more background, guys. Well, Nigerians paid at least 2.57 billion naira to kidnappers between July of 2024 and June of 2025, while abductors demanded about 48 billion naira in the same period, according to a new SBM intelligence study on the country's kidnap for ransom economy. There is an economy, by the way. The report records 4,722 victims across 997 incidents, with at least 762 deaths linked to this. They described kidnapping, which is not anything new to me if you ask me, as a lucrative criminal enterprise. They also noted that the payments made amounted to roughly about 5.35% of the total ransom that was demanded. The figures are drawn from SBM's open source tracking of incidents and media verified cases nationwide. Previous editions of the project found lower totals, underscoring a worsening kidnap economy. I'm thinking to myself that we have quietly, unfortunately, whether knowing or knowingly, allowed this to grow into a viable business. And so I read a story yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, and I think that story is still trending today, of a preacher and his wife somewhere in the southwest who practically faked a kidnapping because they wanted to extort money from people. It's become a thing that if you just want to make some money, you can pretend that you are being kidnapped, or it's crazy. And what happens when you don't nip something in the bud, or you don't go at it immediately? It festers, and then it becomes a huge sore. And then we try to put a plaster on it because it has become a cancer, but then it continues to spread because that's not the solution to the problem. So at what point are we going to make insecurity a priority, front and center? At what point? I mean, someone's going to call me now and say, but the presidency has spoken to the American government and they are going to give us. But is that enough? And I'll keep asking these questions. At what point are we going to prioritize the insecurity? Because when we talk about insecurity, everybody's minds, we all start thinking about Zamfara, about Plateau, about Kebbi and Katsina. But it goes beyond that. There is kidnapping for ransom. There are known gunmen in the southeast. There are all kinds of crises. And these things are more like offshoots from a hydra-headed monster, which is called insecurity, but then has different names. At what point are governments at the state and federal level going to make this front and center? Welcome to Hard Facts. In case you're just joining us, we're live on facebook.com/Nigeria Info FM. We're also live on YouTube, Nigeria Info FM. Let's move away from that. Let's look at something else. The APC, I think this is a very interesting story, has said that the presidential ticket for 2027 is open despite the president's endorsement. All the governors across the divide of the APC, across the states of the APC, including some governors in the People's Democratic Party, have endorsed the president for 2027. But then the APC is saying, well, the ticket is open. If you think that you're man enough, come and take it. Just share your thoughts on what you think this is. What do you think they're playing at, really? And if you were a member of the APC, would you dare? I mean, because who would dare, really, to want to run against an incumbent? I'm just curious. And finally, from the Punch newspaper, that story, Lagos man killed in a fight. And we hear from police that the suspect has been arrested. Now, the Lagos State Police Command arrested a man, Ebuka Adindu, for allegedly stabbing Sadiq Ibrahim to death during a violent confrontation in the Mandalas area of Lagos on Wednesday. A social media user at Jack Fleet, who first raised the alarm on X, wrote that there is a fracas going on presently in Lagos Island, Mandalas to be precise. He said two guys were fighting and it resulted in the death of one of them. Right now, the street urchins have taken the law into their hands, stabbing innocent people on the street. Now, reacting to that post, the command spokesperson Benjamin Hundeyin dismissed the claim that miscreants had taken over the area, but then there are videos to show. He said, "Your claim that street urchins have taken over the street is false. Please do not cause unnecessary panic. DPO's Lion Building and Ebutero are currently on ground with their men maintaining and restoring peace." Also, the suspect had been arrested, according to Hundeyin, is in custody for further necessary actions. Also, in a follow-up message, Hundeyin clarified the incident was not a tribal clash, as was being speculated. He said, and I quote, "The Lagos State Police Command hereby wishes to inform the general public that there was no tribal clash or disturbance between any ethnic groups and others inside Balogun Market today. There was an incident of a free-for-all between some hoodlums and miscreants in the Balogun Market in the early hours of yesterday, which was 11 a.m. During the fights, one Ebuka Dindu from Abia State stabbed Sadiq Ibrahim from Kogi State to death. The said Ebuka Dindu in turn stabbed himself on the other shoulder and became unconscious. I want to play a quick video. If we're live on Facebook and on YouTube, you can watch it. It's quite disturbing. Just to give you an idea, have you ever been to the Lagos Island Market? I hate to go there because I've got a phobia for crowds. I don't like to be in the middle of too many people, so I pick my battles. I pick when I want to go to that market. It's crazy. But so you can imagine when a thing like this breaks out, it's absolute total chaos. Total chaos. I'm gonna play that clip. Hopefully you're able to watch it. Let's go to that clip right now. Take a listen. If you're watching, if you notice, there's a dead body that was dragged out of a keke napep and just dropped on the ground. Now, this is the least bloodiest video I could play because the rest of it is really bloody. And this crowd is minimal. In the other video clips, there were so many people and it was pretty chaotic. What beats me about this conversation is how, remember yesterday I spoke about divisive politics and divisive conversations and divisive, statements. How this fight between area boys quickly became a fight between the South and the West was just, it's ridiculous. And I want to say thank you to Benjamin Hundeyin for, getting in front of it and, making sure that the story was not spun into another hate situation. So I also have a clip of the Lagos State Police Command trying to get the man who had stabbed himself, I guess. And I saw people trying to beat him up. They were throwing cement blocks at him, hitting him with sticks. It was just a terrible video. I couldn't play that. And the police came, rescued him, put him. So I think they have him in custody, and I hope that he's okay. Even though we hear that he stabbed himself. It's ridiculous. Let's talk, guys. It's interesting. It's been a day. Okay, so let's talk about this stabbing situation and how we can deal with this, because unfortunately, if you go to the market, these boys are everywhere. Everywhere. You can't carry your load out of the market. They will tell you have to pay, you have to do this, all kinds of things. Also, the issue of insecurity and this kidnapping. When is the government going to begin to prioritize dealing with insecurity? And finally, is APC playing? What type of playing is this? Who would dare to pick a ticket while the president, who's incumbent, is sitting, wants to run in 2027, and the APC saying, well, we're throwing our ticket open? Are they just doing that to fulfill righteousness? Maybe the obvious answer is yes. 0201 277 0993 0201 465 7190 0201 027709934, the men. For the women, 0201-465-7190. If you're listening from outside of the country, you want to join the conversation, you can join us on WhatsApp. It's 0809597585. Welcome to Hard Facts. It's 60 seconds that we have. Hello. Yeah. You have to call me back, sir. It's your line is a bit problematic. Please call me back. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Maryann, good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Ambrose.
Hi,
A
Ambrose.
very pathetic story on the island. But you see, what I really want to talk about is the endorsement, the statement, is it the publicity or the organizing secretary of the APC? We all know exactly where, whatever is going to tilt. Because right from the very first day, this was the first time the president won an election, and from the first day, he never hid his intention that he was coming back for 2027. And
I'm so sorry, we have to go on a break, Ambrose.
News and sports after this.
Now cook food where sweets like this. One girl for my kitchen. Too sweet, I lick my lips. Now waiting, I use them fry my chicken. If you listen when it says the sound of joy taste you've been missing. Eat a hammer from my city. Now cook food where sweets like this. It's mama door, your meal is a hit. It's mama door, oh no you the hit. It's mama door, yeah, it's mama door. It's mama door, your meal is a hit. It's mama door, oh no you the hit. It's mama door, yeah, cook food where sweets like this. It's mama door, your meal.
It tastes great. It's Mamador. Mamador oil is available in stores near you and also comes in pocket-friendly sizes. Use